Hi, it's Ra, Rishi Kavi Raghudas from Star Presence Astrology, here to give the astrological forecast for Monday, May 26th, Memorial Day here in the United States, 2025. Well, it is Memorial Day, which is a day to remember the sacrifices of those who have served in the military, and it's a good time right now, this year, to remember those sacrifices, particularly because of what's happening politically right now. So let's make our ancestors proud and do the right thing now. Now, that's the editorializing. Now we come to the astrology, and this is quite a day. This is one of those days that could be very frenetic because it's all about that Gemini energy. Mercury is the ruling planet of Gemini, and Mercury is about communication. This is one of those days where writing, speaking, texting, or driving could all be in great abundance. Hopefully not texting and driving at the same time. Let me explain. The sun today is at 5, moving to 6 degrees of, you guessed it, hey, let's communicate and socialize. It's all about our minds. Air sign Gemini. And the moon begins the day in the late degrees of steady as she goes earth sign Taurus. It makes a conjunction to Uranus, the planet of sudden change and often chaos, first thing in the morning, just what we need, right? That is at 27 degrees of Taurus and occurs at 6:52 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time, 9:52 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time, 2:52 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time. So we start off with a bang. Moon goes void, of course, for about 4 hours and then enters into Gemini at 10:21 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time, 1:21 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, and 6:21 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time. You recall that Saturn has just entered 0 degrees of Aries, joining Neptune at 1 degree of Aries, and Pluto is at 3 degrees of Aquarius, and Mercury has also just moved into Gemini, so all of these planets in early degrees are being triggered today by the moon. That's why it's just a bang, bang, bang sort of a day. The moon makes a nice sextile, 60-degree angle to Saturn, 10:33 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time, 1:33 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, 6:33 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time. That's good for getting it all together, which we'll probably need. Then the moon conjoins Mercury, Gemini's ruling planet, at 1 degree of Gemini, at 1:05 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time, 4:05 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, and 9:05 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time. So it's bang, bang, bang. And then there's a nice sextile by the moon to Neptune with the planet of dreams and visions, which is very nice for creativity or for doing something spiritual. At 1 degree of Gemini to Neptune at 1 degree of Aries, 1:10 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time, 4:10 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, and 9:10 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time. And then Mercury also makes its sextile to Neptune, so that follows at 1:37 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time, 4:37 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, 9:37 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time. Then the moon makes a harmonious trine, a nice swing angle from 3 degrees of Gemini to Pluto, the Lord of Power and Transformation, at 3 degrees of Aquarius. That is a nice self-empowerment aspect later in the day. 4:14 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time, 7:14 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, 12:14 a.m. Greenwich Mean Time. And then comes the new moon, where the moon conjoins the sun at 6 degrees and 6 minutes of Gemini this evening. So all this day it's been the dark of the moon, the time to finish up things. And so if you're not too frenetic, try to finish up old projects, maybe even writing projects, or, talking to that person you've always meant to talk to. Because the new moon occurs tonight at 8:02 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time, 11:02 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, and 4:02 a.m. Greenwich Mean Time. It's the beginning of the new monthly cycle, so tomorrow is the day to project for what you want to accomplish in the coming month. This is all the dark of the moon, so finish it all up today. New moon, new cycle begins tonight. I'm Ra, Rishi Kavi Raghudas, trying to hurry it all through because it's frenetic, from Star Presence Astrology. Now, if you would like to have a personal reading with me, you can book it on my website, starpresence.net. Remember, from the very moment that you're born, you got star presence. Enjoy this day, no matter what. Don't talk too much, especially while you're driving or text.